And we are back! Ohayo gozaimasu! We are here in Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix, Suzuka International Circuit. Nick, I know I always ask you this question about the track, but this is actually one of the tracks where you have actually raced quite a lot. And we have raced here as well, together for some endurance races. So, opinion on this track? I'm pretty sure it's one of the best ones out there.
Suzuka circuit, definitely very interesting for depending on what car you drive. For us GT cars, it is a pain in sector 1 with how many sweeping corners there are from turn 1 all the way to turn 7. The entire sector is just left rights, and left rights. Drivers have to be extremely patient, but F1 drivers with so much downforce, it's going to be so interesting. Down into the hairpin here as well, and then the big spoon that we all expect to see, 130R, before it come back to the start finish straight. It's definitely going to be a very interesting race this time around, and the clouds show to be a little bit more interesting than just the track itself as well.
Yeah, and I think there might be rain. No rain. It looks cloudy right now in the qualifying session while we're waiting for drivers to be loaded in. It definitely looks like a little bit overcast, similar to what we saw previously in not Miami, but the week before, in our first race in Portimao, right? So it started off a little gloomy like this, and then within the first 2 minutes, we saw raindrops, and qualifying was cut short there and there. And we're finally here once again. There's no real life Grand Prix this week, so we have voted for a track in some sense, right? And Japanese GP is, I think, definitely one of the better tracks that the RNG has chosen this week. 18 drivers, not 18 drivers, 18 minutes underway in the short qualifying with full 20 drivers. We have 4 reserve drivers making their appearance for today. That's going to be Lukman in the Aston Martin. Levi also making his debut. So both Aston Martin drivers are not here today, and in their place 2 new reserves. We also have Roshan Robot in the Alpine for today, and we also have Tuna, who's been a familiar face in the F1 scene in MSRL ever since season 3, I believe, and finally he's making his
4, I think,
first appearance this season. So let's see how things go. I'm quickly taking a look at the weather, if it's going to load, and it looks all right. Yeah, finally telemetry has loaded in, Nick, and I can see it's all the way dry. Yeah, so it's gonna be a fun, boring-ish race, but at least the dries, everyone is confident. That's what I like to say. What about you? A bit of rain, you think, to spice things up if it ever happened?
Rain will be interesting, definitely. It's always the case with rain, but this week, I think drivers would prefer not to have rain, especially with how many long sweeping corners there are. If you're not careful with your understeer, you're gonna have a lot of issues when you're taking your lap here. As you see, drivers already on the outlet, already pushing very hard. These cars, so much downforce, 200 kilometers per hour through a corner. You definitely can't do that in any other car but an F1 car. So it's gonna be interesting for these drivers here. But it's gonna be very interesting as well because with a gloomy track, your track temperature is actually, even though it's dry, it's gonna be lower as well. This means that drivers are able to push harder. They need to worry too much about their tire temperature, and with that, just easier for them hold this session alone. Especially with how little fuel you carry for qualifying, it's gonna be very interesting as you see Ernest slowly, taking the corner at the hairpin just to let teammate by, as we start to get this qualifying session underway.
Yeah, and this, maybe it's even an opportunity like we see in real life, right? When the temperatures drop, the lap times do improve a little bit. So perhaps the drivers might feel there's a little bit chance here to improve on their PBs from before if they practice in the hot conditions like I usually do. To get a baseline on the hottest condition possible, to set up your tire pressures correctly and all that fun stuff, right? And we can see 2 Red Bulls here lining back to back here, just getting some gap before they eventually start their lap runs here. And we have our eyes on Scientist here this time around, who's been a familiar voice and face in the interview rooms, so we are hoping for him to have a good race as well this time around. So let's take it away, Nick, into turn 1.
coming down into turn 1.
Oh,
This
wrong
is
driver.
Kendra.
Yeah.
Actually, Ernest actually coming into turn 1. Very long corner to be very patient to make sure that you don't run wide here down into turn 2. And now here turn 3 is flat out 3, 4. Lift a little bit just to make sure you don't run wide. Tug the inside a lot for turn 4, 5, actually 6. And then now into 7. Make sure you have a good exit on 7. If you run too wide, you actually get into the gravel, then you'll lose a bunch of time and invalidate your lap. Now, turn 8, Dagner, brake, turn in. Very tricky for some drivers. If you run too wide, you might actually invalidate yourself. Or, as like Ernest did, lose a bunch of time because you get a little bit unstable. It is a very undulating corner, so you have to make sure that you don't hit too much of the curve as much as you could while you are trying to get as much track limits as possible. Bullet has such as time coming in down into turn 12. Long sweeping right-hander before braking at the 50 board for turn 13. Boon and 14. Very deceiving. You need to take a very late apex here down into the very long back straight into 130R. It's going to be flat over here. Make sure you have a good exit, or else you're going to lose a bunch of time here. It's going to be an interesting place for someone to overtake here. Down into 130R. Will he be flat? Yes, he would. Coming down into turn. Last corner is turn 16, 17, 18. Will he lock up? He locks up a little bit. But will he have a good exit coming out here? It's alright. Coming into the final straight. What time will he get? A 131.1.
Alright.
Shari just did a 126.9.
Well, a very nice number there, 26.969. Straight away taking P1 there, go Shari's. And we did notice that Scientist is not exactly setting a fast lap just yet. So he was going on a chill lap there, I'm assuming, on these mediums, building up pace, saving a set of soft tires, which is going to be crucial for the race, especially towards the later stages here. And gets a little bit of a snap as well again there. You can see the car is really a bit loose here. Drivers are pushing, and he is pushing a lot more, and this time into Dagner to much cleaner. I'm pretty sure that's some lap time gain over there. Let's turn our attention to someone who's probably might steal the headlines for today. Touted to be one of the faster drivers as well. I've raced with him, I've seen him race, and he definitely has the potential to be the front runner here. Shari still holds the pole for now with a 26.9. He's the first driver to be into the 26s. Bagas 2 tenths away, and now let's see Levi into the final chicane. The Casio triangle, hard on the traction here, a little bit slippery. Stay tight on the right and across the line. Not bad for his first lap, considering he did say he was pretty rusty, didn't get much practice in. P3 straight away.
It's definitely interesting. Shari is already out here doing 126.9s. I'm feeling he's gonna run away if
on the mediums
if the other drivers don't catch up. Yeah, it's listen, these drivers are fast, man. That's the thing about MSRL. We have very big, we have insanely big pace gap. So hopefully, given that Suzuka is a very narrow track, that we might get some decent traffic management. If not, I think some of the faster drivers might actually cause incidents this time around.
Well, we did actually get some clarification last week on Miami why Charles decided to stay out on the safety car, which came out on lap 25, I believe, out of lap 29. Well, turns out when the safety car was deployed, he had already passed the pit lane, and that he could not get past the safety car by the time the delta time was resolved. So that meant that he was basically got shafted by the game. He did not get the chance to go another lap and then pit again. So that gifted the opportunity to realize and switch to battle up for the win. And switch, he did his best and he finally won the race. Mercedes driver here, the other Mercedes of Azwan, who was the driver of the day in the sprint, and he also took the fastest lap in the sprint, whereas his teammate Switz took the fastest lap in the race. So it was a good turnout for Mercedes. They are leading the Constructors' Championship for the first time, I believe, after a while. And I won't stop banging about it, but it's not as straightforward as it looks, right? It may be super tight for the time being. Azwan's there with Switz. For the Mercedes team, they are leading right now by just under 20 points, and there's also Williams of Bagas and Nafal who have been doing super well so far. And there you go, Azwan puts it in P3 provisionally on the soft tires. We're still looking to see if Charis will get any better than that, or will he just decide to stay in the pits for now. But yeah, Constructors, 2 races are done now, entering the third race, it is starting to shape out. You can see the teams like McLaren,
Oh,
teams like Williams, Mercedes. Yeah, just throw any
I
team in, and
mean,
they're all fighting it out there.
I'm going to cut you in there and just say, well, to be fair, Sherris has been standing in for these constructors and just helping getting points to all of them everywhere he goes. So he's definitely a very sought after asset for any team as a reserve driver. But I think is Sherris now a permanent driver on the grid?
Exactly. So Charis has been promoted since race 2 itself. He is now a main driver for the Mercedes team. So partnering him will be Arman Haikal. So it's a tough challenge for sure. We have the likes of Charis, who is definitely way ahead of everyone else. Probably 2 or 3 tenths he has on the harder tire for sure. Whereas you have Ayman, who's just there or thereabouts, closing in on the top pack and just slightly leading the mid pack, you will say. So it's a good pairing there for sure for the constructors. It's going to be a good haul of points if they can get a good race here. And while things are going on, let's quickly invite back drivers that have disconnected. So Foliage Shot, another driver we've seen doing well so far this season, Nick. As a rookie, what's your, if you're a rookie in a season, it doesn't matter in this game or any other game, what's your first thing that you would like to do when you're on the grid against new people?
Usually, for me, it's more about finding out, scouting around, understanding where your pace is. Usually in qualifying, usually it takes about a lap or a race or two to understand where you are in terms of your standing against the grid, and that's where you need to learn how to improve yourself. Usually, maybe especially my first season in a different league when I was racing in ACC. When I joined in, I realized that I was pretty quick, close to getting promoted to the pro class. But as race starts, as we start to race, the experience of racing itself quickly starts to show, and that's when you realize that where you cut between the grid. Are you a driver that only is able to punch out good laps on qualifying, or are you a driver that doesn't matter what you qualify, but because of your consistency and your ability to not make any mistakes at all gets you on the top of the grid? I think Foley, as a driver right now, should kind of understand where he is in the standings, and especially when you are maybe in the front of the grid, because of your ability to qualify good in the race, in qualifying itself. Maybe practice consistency, practice racing other people, get your consistency up, especially within this grid, to make sure that you are able to secure what you have qualified for instead of having issues or crashes or any sort of things that are within your control to affect your positions in the standing itself.
Right. Top tier advice there from one of our esteemed stewards as well, Nick. So, top tier. I'm definitely saying top tier because this is what always we talk about in the server, in DMs. Whenever anyone has a question or is looking for a direction, wherever you go, whichever forum you go, whichever corner you go, even if you decide to venture into the dark webs, you'll find the same advice, right? But it's just a matter of whether the driver would want to take on the advice and work on it. Right. Let's chuck the advices aside, which may or may not have some haikus in it, since we are in Japan. We are back on track here with Bagas. Across the line, he does not improve on his best lap time, so he still stays in P2 there. That's a sign that probably some other drivers like Aswan, Levi, and Switz just behind them might just improve here. So top 6 probably in a good chance for a pole here. I'll say probably the clear contender here is probably Charis for the pole, whereas P2 to P6 will be toughly contended here with 6 minutes to go, 5.5 if you speak. And maybe let's just jump on board with Levi Tiger Benz, who's a 10.5 up, crosses the line, just improves a little bit up to P4 still. Roshan, there you go. Debut performance there, makes his mark here, immediately up to P6. So scrap that top 6 just now. We'll have to make it a top 7 right now, maybe top 8 even, as Scientist now joins within a second of Charis in the top 8. And there you go, another driver into the top 10 already. Kendra up into P4. So it is pretty tight here, Nick, so far. in the qualifying.
And to be fair, the MSRL grid has become tighter and tighter over the years. We used to see seconds apart each driver as the league was forming, and now due to our Sagwin has issues as we get growing bigger and bigger and drivers start to come in, we definitely have seen the gap growing tighter and tighter now from P1 all the way to P10, close to P10, P9 is about a second gap. That is very competitive for a grid one, and really shows how good these drivers are, within their pace. There's only a few outliers here and there, and it's been pretty good. And especially new drivers like Levi, Roshan, they're definitely not newcomers in racing itself, but seeing this competitive grid that we have here definitely might cause them to feel a little bit intimidated. But I can assure you this, MSRL, it's not so long as you keep your cool, everything should be fine.
Yeah, speaking of keeping their cool, look at that, and there you go. Aswan puts it on pole so far with a half a tenth improvement. That's definitely challenging Sharice for the pole position. I'm pretty sure Sharice would love to go out right now and probably set his marker as well. So good showing finally from Aswan after a, well, I would say less than optimal first two races of the season, getting a qualifying ban in the previous race due to incident in the first race. So that didn't really help his bidding, but Mercedes are still doing their job, and we turn our attention to the other Mercedes of Switch. So this time around, he's on his out lap, so this will be his this is only a temp left. He's only got 3 minutes left, and perhaps we'll want to ride on board with him this time around and see how to take Suzuka.
Out the pit lane. Yeah, so it's been pretty reliable. They had some equipment upgrades since last season, and it's definitely been beneficial for Switch itself racing here in F1. And Mercedes being a strong pair definitely make them a force to be reckoned with. Charis alone usually can pull the team up, but when you have a very strong pair like the Mercedes have, they really can just have two drivers get points for the constructor, and that's definitely more beneficial than having a one-man pull on the team's constructor's points.
Well, it also helps to have two strong drivers here, and when the time calls in the championship, oh my goodness, that is definitely a Williams that has impeded Switch there. That is now follows probably gonna be getting a call up from the stewards after the race for sure.
That is unfortunate for Switch.
Luckily for Switch though, he still has 2 minutes to cool down and then go again, but it doesn't help that you've already burned a little bit of your tires, that little bit of edge that might give you that half a tenth or tenth lap time there towards the end. So Shara is here now on his out lap, so we'll see that lap times starting to tumble as the session comes to an end here. 3 minutes to go, 2 minutes to go as we speak, and let's see.
Is he brake dragging right now? Okay, he is brake dragging to heat up the tires.
Yep, exactly. So brake dragging, one of the best methods to heat up the tires in this game currently. It's probably going to be gone in the next game, cough cough, but yeah.
To be fair, heating the brakes does actually increase the core temperature of the car, so it is a valid tactic. I think if it's a little bit overpowered, what should be done by Codemasters is to just adjust the intensity of it more than anything.
Yeah. Well, let's put aside all the game mechanics discussion and ride on board with the guy who probably or is very likely to steal the pole lap away from Aswan here. Take us away, Nick.
Yes, you see DRS coming down into first back straight. Let's see how good he is taking turn 1. Will he be taking it flat or lifting for turn 2? As he takes it flat, brakes, turning to turn 2, barely misses the apex for turn 3. For turn 2, then turn 3, flat, turn 4, keeps in the middle, turn 5, hugs on the inside, turn 6 also needs to hug on the inside, but he has to keep it hugged on the inside for turn 7, or else he's going to have a bad exit for this long left-hander coming down to Diagonal, and it's perfect line. Right now, coming into Diagonal, brake at the 50 mark, turn in, just a slight tap, turn Diagonal 2, make sure that you don't hit too much curves like what you see in Sinus. Yeah, right now, coming to the hairpin.
So in sector 1, that's
pretty
good.
3 tenths up. Oh, a slight lockup coming to the hairpin, but I think that doesn't really affect it much. The exit's a bit slow though. Not sure if the deltas have changed, Alvin, but you have to let me know. Coming down into Boone curve, turn 13. Will he be able to be brave and take as much off the track limits as possible.
A little bit conservative there for sure.
Is it?
And
Yep.
now, but on the exit of Spoon, takes it as hard as he could. Now we're running down to 130R where, it is pretty much flat nowadays in these modern F1 cars. But
he has traffic in front of him.
Traffic, he gets past it, and now here you go. Make or break your lap time. Locks up a little bit.
Oh, and he locks up.
Is that going to affect his lap time? Is that going to help him
No, he saved
gain
it.
some lap time? There we go. Now across the line. What is it going to be? It's looking pretty close. It is pole position. 26.3. Pips Azwan Jupri for the pole position by almost a tenth and a half. There you go. We finally got a pole lap on screen for the first time in, I don't know, 3 seasons?
I mean, to be fair, this is expected though from Charis. I mean, who else would you expect to take pole from anyone else other than Charis himself?
Bagas, I think he's had a bad lap there. Didn't improve. Kendra still going strong, so he's in a position here to steal the 3rd position away from everyone else. He's a 10th up, which is just going to be enough. He just needs half a tenth of an improvement either way to get the P3 so far. Final chicane. Oh, that is horrible.
Oh, no.
And I don't think that's going to be anywhere close to getting him to the P3 that he wants. Not enough at all. We still have a few more drivers coming to the end of their lap. Roshan has done his lap. Where is Roshan? Roshan has gone to P3. Wow, okay. Just as I was looking for the Alpine, he's jumped to P3. And it might be a 2-horse race up in front, but look at that. P3 onwards, it is all stacked, all close together. And I think we are in for a Silverstone, maybe? Season 6 again, Nick?
We'll see. It's gonna be insane to see the start, but hopefully nothing bad happens between all of them. It'll be very interesting to see how things go. We definitely do not want to see bad blood between the drivers, because that's not good for racing, I feel at least.
Well, bad blood or not, but I think it's a good first draw of blood here in qualifying with Charis once again. The defending champion takes pole position in round number 3 of season number 7 here with a 26.332 pips Azwan Jupri by a 0.127 of second there. So they'll be lining up on the front row. Roshan Robot, well, good performance there as a debutant. Puts himself up in P3, so that's a good show. And also a good showing from Levi Tiger Pants as well, making his debut as a reserve. And we know he's quick, but we didn't expect it to for him to be quick out of the box. Pips Bagas by 0.004 of a second for that P4 slot. There you go, that's the rest of the grid. And it looks like, well, there are some drivers who didn't set a lap. So Zanubi just chilling at the back, probably saving tires for the race. Zekwen getting a 5th place grid penalty early on for collision, for impeding Tuna early on. So that's going to be unfortunate for him, but he's already way at the back. And now we wait to see who jumps the start, Nick.
Well, if I had to put money on it, it's definitely the new guys. We definitely have a very interesting start procedure. Unfortunately, we're not limited by the game itself, so we have to do our own discipline. And some drivers might just accidentally fat finger thing while they play around with the pit menus. But we'll see.
We were talking about this, Nick, in the first race where everyone was so disciplined, waited even more than 3 minutes, right? We have a mandated 2 minutes, but the waiting time went over 3 minutes, and everyone was eager to start the race, but no one was eager to start it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then when we went to Miami, and boom, straight away, sprint race, main race. Both times someone started early. Thankfully, the driver, they were quite a gentleman to admit that they started early, and they did say that they got a little bit excited, because it's their first race of the season. So he'll happily accept the penalty. He did. And I hope every other driver will take notice of that. And for 2 things, for not pressing the start button early, and also being a gentleman on track and off track. Let's hope we see a little bit more clean race today compared to Miami, which was you can say quote unquote rigged with all the reverse grid sprint nonsense and all. But here in Suzuka, there's not much overtaking opportunities in Sector 1. Sector 2, there are long straights, but There's only one DRS straight down this pit straight here, and it's not the longest straight either, right? Arguably, the run down to 130R is even longer, so it really makes it difficult to overtake around here. Weather forecast. Well, you don't have to worry, folks in the chat. Rono saying the sky is clearing up. Exactly, and the telemetry also agrees with you. It's going to be a full dry race for once. So, we are not going to be stuck in the dark. We don't have to guess whether rain is coming. And, well, I, for one, I think, a dry race in Suzuka is much better than the wets here. Otherwise, it's going to throw a lot more chaos in this narrow track here.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more heartbreak if there's rain in the race. But also, at the end of the day, we still want to see the drivers performing at their maximum. So it'll be definitely interesting to see these drivers go for max push in Suzuka. Definitely seen drivers coming in and out of the session right now. Maybe getting the toilet break, maybe checking some technical issues. But we'll see as the 2 minutes timer tick down as they prepare for the grid. It'll be very interesting. Suzuka, as you said, very narrow. Though you have seen drivers being heroic. Miami, given a track that's narrow, they make it work. So I definitely will expect some drivers to make an overtake, but they have to do it smart, especially in Sector 1. So many corners. You have to make sure that the last corner is where it all makes sense, where it all makes it count. You have to make sure that you have a good exit. Make sure you don't make any mistakes to run wide into the gravel, just so you can maybe sneak a position or two at Dagner. It'll be risky, but it'll be the place for you to overtake. If not, gain some pace on your opponent at turn 9, then make a very big lunge on the hairpin. And that's where
for sure.
That's where usually most the overtakes are in Sector 2 on this track.
Right, looks like we are back on to the discipline of round 1. Apparently, everyone's waiting. It's past 2 minutes, which is good to see.
All right,
and let's hope someone actually remembers to start the race. Others will be sitting here discussing about the Japanese weather, and probably it's even going to turn into another season here. Maybe it's going to turn into spring or autumn. It may start raining on track while waiting, so you never know what may happen. So drivers will be given the go clearance, and we'll be joining them real soon, guys. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Hit that like button. If you're new as well, make sure you hit subscribe, and follow our socials as well. Join us in Discord if you would love to. Well, the season registration has been closed, but if you want to show interest in the upcoming seasons, make sure you join the server. You'll be the first one to get notified. The timer is beeping down. Nick, take it away for the race start.
All right. Start off the Suzuka Grand Prix. 5 red lights, and away we go as you see the drivers. Oh, there is a really quick start from Foliot. Oh, is that a jump start?
It is a jump start.
That's a drive-through for a jump start. Oh, poor thing.
Oh, man.
I got a bit too eager. Jerry is coming down into turn P1 into turn 2, taking the lead. AJ, yellow. Even though the softs cannot catch up. There is a yellow flag. What happened there? There is a Lukman.
Yeah, that's a Lukman.
What happened there, I wonder?
Well, you can expect the usual turn 1 shenanigans in Suzuka, I suppose. But back on, looks like everything else has been good so far. We see a little bit of battling going on here. Ayman and Naufal, they were swapping positions. Quite a mix of tire choices here. Mediums and softs for the majority of the grid, with Kendra and Ting Tong the only one mixing it up with hard tires to go from the start. So Ting Tong is going to lose some positions here on the hard tires. Oh, okay, that's a car running wide. That's not Ting Tong. He's been overtaken by Scientist here. Up to P14 he goes.
That's Zachwin that's the newbie, I think, in the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah.
Yeah, both drivers are very far back right now. I'm not sure what has happened there. Shane as well coming at the back of the train. Some slowly closing in at the small train at the back right now. You have a small train of Raiden, Senna, as well as Zachwin, 3 drivers. Maybe Raiden has sustained some strong damage as he's trying to fall back into the grid. Not sure. The faster driver right now usually is now at the back of the grid. Definitely has some damage as you see some of the drivers going a little bit wide. Naufal right now getting attacked by the Vile, Tuna. So many drivers now. Oh my god. Start weaving. You're not allowed to do that. Be careful, buddy. as you see them side by side.
Oh,
And
there
there is
is definitely
touch from
some
the harsh
contact.
driver.
There's definitely some contact there between Davile, or as we know him as Lemon. So Lemon, Ting Chong, going a little bit argy bargy there into turn one. We've already seen it in lap one itself. You can expect a lot more of that coming through the rest of the race. Up in front, let's quickly turn our attention to the race leaders here. Shari starting on the medium tires, Aswan on the soft tires, so he's being able to keep up with his rival up in front. So differing tire strategies here definitely going to play into their own hands if and when safety car comes out at the right time or wrong time, depending of who you ask, right? But most importantly, I think in the first few laps here, second lap will be over very, very soon, and Aswan will want to stay within the DRS range. I'm on Haikal down in P7, picked up a 3-second time penalty. Zach Wen's already retired. He's out of the race, and that is an early goodbye for him. So he's out of the race.
Yes.
No safety car. Seems to be parked up in a safe place just behind. So he'll be safely going home. Well, going to bed early tonight. Ayman here, you can see being overtaken by Kenrick and onto the main straight here. Ayman will mount a counter attack in the no DRS yet, in the slipstream. He tucks in, pulls out to the right hand side. Looks like he has the top speed advantage over the Ferrari, but into turn one side by side, and the McLaren gets the inside line. What's happening behind?
Ferrari went a little bit sideways there. Naufal saw the opportunity and took it immediately. That's a bit unfortunate. Both were very respectful though, so a bit unfortunate for Kenrick. He has to slowly get back up to pace, and also notice the tires a bit. It did slide a little bit, so it's going to be a little bit warm. So he definitely has to cool down the tires just so he could catch up. But you can see that drivers are trying to crack under pressure. It might be easy to set a good time here, but as you can see from Kenrick itself, when you push it a little bit too hard, the car's gonna bite back, and when it bites back, it's not gonna be kind to you, especially in Suzuka with so many fast corners. A mistake might end you in the wall, and that's definitely not something the drivers want this night.
Yeah, a lot of sliding. That's obviously going to overheat the tires, and I think Kenrick knows what's up. And in his opening laps, he wants to stay in DRS. Goes wide once again. These soft tires are not hanging on for him. Might not be the tire for him. And there you go. Lemon is right on his gearbox already. Tucks into the slipstream. Pulls around the outside now into 130R. He gets ahead, so we don't have to see any side-by-side 130R action, and into the Casio triangle. Looks like Lemon stays ahead, and he will not have to worry about being attacked by the Ferrari. But on the exit, can Kenrick get a better exit? No, looks like he does not, and Lemon pulls out the gap 5/10, and so far he's going ahead.
It is something to do with the soft tires in here, because at the end of the day, the soft tires are working a little bit hard, mainly because of the fuel, as well as the clearer weather. The clearer weather makes track temperature a little bit higher compared to an overcast session. That's definitely going to be a little bit disadvantageous for... Oh, that is a Ferrari, I think, that has caused the yellow. No, that is a... Not sure what has happened. Oh, there is a Alpine. That's Roshan. I think he has made a slide at Sector 1. Unfortunate, they're gonna have to pick up the pace.
Yeah, he was running up in P3 and suddenly he's down to P10 already. So this small mistake there relegates you all the way down to P10. So that's how tight the margins are, how tight how big the stakes are around here in this season. So one mistake immediately is dropping down, but already on the counter attack, Roshan at the back of Kenrick. Into 130R? No, not 130R. This is Spoon. Into Spoon. You don't want to make a sap on Verstappen kind of move here. It's not advisable, but now you get the slipstream all the way down to 130R. You're within 6/10. You get that benefit of that extra top speed. And just quickly, we have a switch for the lead already. Almost a switch for the lead already. Aswan might have just outbroken himself. And that gives an opportunity for Levi Tiger Pants and Bagas. 3 wide they are into turn 1. God. And Bagas gets 2 for 1. Up into P2 he goes. Next up for him, he'll have to chase down the race leader before he pulls away. Wow. All right.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting fight for the three of them. I'm not sure if that's going to be beneficial for Shari's or not, given that they are all drivers driving at alternate lines in this race, in this track, and because of how one way this track is, when you are offline, you're going to lose significant time compared to most tracks here, and that's going to be very, very beneficial for Shari. Shari will definitely wish for the three of them to fight the entire race for the next 20, 22 odd so laps, just so that he could be really in front of them.
Yeah, and it looks like after the initial troubles that Roshan had in the last lap, he's still not being able to find a uh, way past Kendrick so far, who's been held up by Lemon. He's being held up by Ayman here for a train down in P7. So right now, Ayman, if anything, he's doing a good job of holding up a train that will give his teammate a slot to a gap to slot back in after the pit stops. But Kendrick once again getting loose at the spoon curve here, and that immediately puts him under pressure. Lemon's also under pressure. We might see 130R action immediately already. And let's see. Oh my goodness, that is not going to be super conducive if drivers want to go side by side. But now on the exit here, Roshan runs a little bit wide onto the curb. A little too greedy on throttle, runs wide onto the curb. He's not going to be having a chance to attack. Lemon though, he's going for it. Down the inside into turn 1. Easy as I like it. You get the inside line, you get the cambered line, and you made the move stick into P8 right now. And next up for him is Ayman Haikal, who has a 3-second time penalty already early on in this race. And there's yellow at the back, and that is the Red Bull of Kenra. Oh no, Kenra, what's happened there? He's dropped down to P14, I think. A little bit of trouble on the hard tires, and his teammate as well. Both the Red Bulls are having some trouble here. So Scientist has spun, and that is a full-blown safety car out at this time, and looks like it might have been caused by the Ferrari of Kendrick, who's lost a full front wing. Yeah, that might have caused a safety car, Nick. You were right. So full safety car's been out now, and it's a perfect time to bring up the tire metric once again. Everyone who started on the softs and mediums will be looking to get rid of those tires, get the fresher mediums or hard tires. They will be quicker, as the simulation suggests. So do they want to convert it to a 2-stop? I'll say that is the best play from here on out. Will someone gamble to stay out on the old tires and prioritize track position over here? We're about to find out as our race leader is coming across the Castro Triangle. And does he weave into the pits? He does.
Yes, so there you go.
He's into the pits.
Oh, did he get a... No,
Levi is in. Baga stays out. Azwan's definitely jumping in. Switz staying out. Switz has to stay out because of that double stack. And now he's not going to be able to get some fresh tires on. Is this a strategic decision by Switz to stay out in front of his teammate, to not double stack and lose any more positions? We'll find out if that's going to work out. Sharis comes back out on hard tires. Ting Tong stayed out on the old hard tires here. Tuna's up to P5. So there's a little bit of a separation here between the top half and the middle half, with the pit stops taking place right now. Pretty much everyone's pit right now, Nick. So it's calm down a little bit.
Here's the question I want to ask. Was it worth it to be stuck behind the safety car for track position, even though you're gonna get stacked? Or was it more worth it to just stack behind your driver? Because at the end of the day, right now, given that Switz is stuck behind the safety car for the entire lap, if Switz would have just stayed behind AJ on the pit stop itself, that would have still secured him the position on the safety car queue, rather than now, given that the entire grid's now back on the safety car, and then he has to pit, he's gonna get pushed back to the very, very end of the safety car queue, which is definitely not ideal for any driver at all.
Yeah, true, and that's probably something he'll have to answer in the post-race interviews for sure. But yeah, I think this might be a gamble here from Switz, and it might just play out. If there's no more safety cars after this, every other driver will have to make another stop. The hard tires from here on out, they can go till the end of lap 27. You will have to make them last 20 laps, but your pace will be severely affected as you get closer to the 20 lap mark. But for someone like Switz and Bagas who have stayed out here, it's giving them an opportunity to extend the life of this medium tires just a lap or two more. In case there's another safety car, well, I don't think they're going to be in the driving seat. But if the race goes on as it is,
guys, did we not learn from Miami that you should probably brake a bit earlier for braking zones?
Yeah, exactly. they put us off our stride for a moment there. Back to the strategy talk to. I think if there's no more safety car, it might just play out for Swiss and Bagas here. They will surely have to fight back with the fresher tires at the end. They will have the pace advantage, but they'll just have to hope they have luck this time around. No more safety cars after that. But yeah, everyone else, I think the likes of Sharis, Levi, Aswan, were on the hard tires, so they will be able to go till the end. And they have been separated by Ting Tong and Tuna, who have opted to stay out as well. So there's going to be a little bit of control chaos, Nick. Is that what we call it? On the restart, because we have drivers on old tires versus new tires. Drivers from the mid pack have decided to stay out, and so it's going to be a little bit of restart mania as usual.
I guess you could say as controlled as it can be, huh? Especially with how much pace difference you have with the tire differences. But as you said, this track, if you push it too, as I said previously, if you push it too hard, you might put it in the wall, as Kenrick did, and you might trigger the safety car. And given how you have drivers in front with worn tires, and actually more than 80% of the grid has already swapped to a fresh set of tires, it's going to be chaos for the 4 drivers right now. They are out with longer tires, fighting for their lives, it seems. It's going to be very interesting, definitely, for the restart.
Well, restart time. So this might be the lap where the safety car goes in. We are still waiting for Lukman all the way at the back of the queue to rejoin the queue. Safety car might be in this lap or might be in on the next lap. We'll find out, as we are still running on board with our de facto race leader right now. Effectively, it's still his race lead, right? On the strategy right now, he will still have to make a pit stop right now. A safety car is going in this lap, so Bagas, Sweets, Ting Tong and Tuna will have to make another stop in this race. Everyone else on the hard tires, they can go till the end. The medium runners and soft runners will have to make another stop. So it's not over just yet. Here comes the restart, Nick, once again. I think
as you see Bagas holding up the grid. Hopefully you don't have any collisions this time around coming down into the straight, as Bagas I think is going to punch it right now as Switz falls behind them. Will Switz be able to take over Bagas' lead as soon as possible? Oh no, some 5-second penalty, severe collision with Raiden. Foliate has definitely rammed too hard on Raiden. Maybe I broke it too hard.
Probably some safety car restart shenanigans. Probably ran into the back of someone. Hopefully no front wings are damaged there. There are some yellow flags. I hope that's not going to call it another safety car just yet. On the restart though, we can see the top 3 pulling away already. Shari is on those fresher hard tires. Is showing why fresh tires are king around this game, around this track, in this game in general, right? And this track as well, especially where you have a lot of high speed corners. You'll need all the mechanical grip and aerodynamic grip you can get. Bagas doing his best. He'll probably want to keep Switz within his DRS range, but no, there you go. Sharis gets definitely the better exit from the exit, and he's chilling while Switz is forced to push. He's trying to overtake Bagas here, and it's a 3-way fight so far. 3 Mercedes powered cars, 3 different Mercedes powered cars in the top 4. 4 cars make it, all the 4 cars are there. And now Bagas has to defend. Switz goes down the inside. Sharis tries to find a way through, and he gets himself up into P2, and I suspect it's not going to last that long. Sharis might just take the outside line here into Casio Triangle. Switz takes the inside line. Sharis will get a better exit. Now let's ride on board with him and see what's going to happen down this pit straight here. I think this is an easy overtake coming for P1 here.
Maybe, but you have to remember DRS is not there yet. As we take overtake mode. But Switz on the inside defending that position, knowing how to park the bus well, showing that he very experienced driving racing around Suzuka. But as you can see, caught Sharis off guard, getting pushed out wide.
Well, I can first hand testify how hard Switz can defend, and he did that as clean as possible, and that definitely caught Sharis out. And for the time being, Sharis is now down to P4 behind Levi, and Levi is also a driver who defends hard, attacks harder as well, and we're about to see that if this is going to be true. A few more yellow flags going on at the back. We'll see, Roshan picks up a 3-second time penalty there. Dagnus coming in, picking up their victims once again. The Dagna 1, Dagna 2 cut the corners, and you're gonna get more time penalties. 130R. Well, not 130R. Correct me once again, Nick. This is the spoon curve, right? Spoon curve once again. No overtaking here, but you want to get a good exit out of this corner. Levi gets a little bit twitchy. Was that twitchy, or is he just trying to make an aggressive move? He does. Now pulls himself up into P2. Sharis once again. I think he has a little bit of top speed advantage around here. He goes up to P3. It's a fog gaggle here. Ah, there you go. Levi
Oh my
makes a
God,
move
on the
for it.
inside.
Makes a move for it for P1 and goes into P1 immediately. He did not wait. He's going to mark his debut here, and into P1 he goes, but Shari is not going to let him through just yet, isn't he? On the inside line into turn 1, and Sharis will get the P2. But this is pretty close. Very, very touch and go here with the gaps that they have out in front. Wow.
Yeah, unfortunately for Switz, his worn tires are definitely showing its signs of age, and I think Switz might have to come in lap or two. Unfortunately, with this strategy, he has definitely compromised his race, but it's all about clawing back what he can right now from this race, I suppose, as we see Sharis and Levi right in front of him. He has the best seat in town to see them two fight, though, as Sharis might start to close in on Levi. I got a feeling that Levi can only hold him too much as Levi spins out Techno 2, almost calling himself into the wall there, huh?
Oh. Yeah, Techno 2
and that makes Sharis 3 times behind him.
For sure caught him out there. And not exactly doing himself any favors with tire temps. But yeah, Sharis, it's all the incentive he'll need. Will it be wise for Levi to back off a little bit and keep Switz in the DRS range, or will he want to pull away from Sharis? Looks like he'll have to try to pull away anyway. Switz is not being able to keep up with those aging soft tires already. And now into 130R in the slipstream. Sharis gaining around the outside. Inside, no, he holds off, and he's gonna try to look to get a better exit onto the pit straight here, and he sort of does. Levi as well, deploying his battery in defense. Switch into the pits already, giving up on the soft tires, and onto the mediums he will go probably till the end. Shari's gaining,
oh
but
my
not
God.
enough. Alright, okay.
So definitely has to set up locked in for that car.
For sure, that's a lot of top speed there. Levi struggling a lot here in the middle in the first part here, in the middle parts of this first sector here. This is not exactly the most grippy on these hard tires, but he's making do with what he's been given. Naufal and Bagas, the two Williams teammates, up into P3 and P4, so good showing from them as well. Aswan up to P5 right now, while his teammate Switz is all the way down in P18. That's a big task for him to get past. Roshan's dropping through the grid. We'll see quickly what's happened there, and he has spun. Yeah, there you go, on Dunlop just before Dagner 1. He has spun out, and he's down to P17, so not exactly a good middle part of the race. Back to the front though.
Back to the front. Oh, what was that? Is that an overtake on the Alpha from the Ferrari? Maybe. But Levi coming down now, Shari's almost 2 tenths behind Levi now. Will he make the overtake right now, coming down into 130, or very close? The gap is closing in, and Shari does have a better exit here. Will he send it? No, he won't. He'll be a little bit more patient, coming down to the back straight, start finish straight. As we see Shari's maybe a good exit, not as good. Oh, Levi,
not good at all. Not good at all. And there you go. It's all the invitation Sharish will need with the DRS.
And the DRS opens.
Easy as you like it.
Clean overtake.
There you go. All right. Race lead restart for Shari's, business as usual. Now can Levi keep up? That's all his task. Another yellow in sector 2. That's at sector 3, correction. And that is on the exit of the final chicane. Looks like no issues so far. The Aston Martin has resumed race. Shari's now will try to pull away if he could. Levi will do his best to stay within the DRS range and even closer than that, otherwise Shari's will run away, as we know. Naufal though, he is dragging his teammate along, so that's a good team job being done there by the Williams and Naufal on the soft tires, dragging his teammate on the older medium tires. Bagas for sure is dragging this out to a set of softs later on, and well-timed safety car might just be the thing he needs from here on. Kendra up to P5 already after that troublesome start that they had just now. So good recovery so far from the Red Bull. I went up to P6, Aswan there in P7, still trying to get this hard tires to work. It will come into play towards the end of the race if things goes as they are right now. The medium tires will start to drop off, but nothing happening so far. Levi still, here you go, sticking so closely through sector 1 and 2, and all he has to do is stick in the DRS, recharge his battery, and occasionally go for an attack or two.
Yeah, as you see, some of the drivers actually, one of the drivers actually has already come into the pit. Switz, now down into P16, already said that his soft tires are done. It's only a matter of time where Bagas as well as Tuna, the two remaining drivers on the grid right now that have not pitted for the change of tires, might decide to pit for a new fresh set. Will they go for the hards though? That is a question that you might want to see coming down in a few laps time. Will the hards last at the end of the lap, or as we see Tuna in speeding and takes a penalty for speeding the pit lane?
Yeah, unfortunate there. We have another yellow flag there in the entire sector 2 entry lighting up. I don't know what's going on with the yellow flags today. It's all over the place and it's definitely throwing us off a little bit. But back onto the actions on track so far. We did see Lemon here, Devil, for a brief moment was pretty close, 2/10 the gap on the exit of the Castor Triangle onto the pit straight, but lost it a little bit, and that has ruined his chances to make an overtake on Raiden here. So Raiden now chasing after Kendrick, and then he'll have a mammoth task to catch up back to the leading pack right now. Speaking of which, I think the leading pack has for sure broken off. That's Sharis and Levi pulling away. The two Red Bulls, the two Williams are doing well to drag each other along. Kendra's going along well, and well, starting to be that usual middle part of the race where it starts to get a little bit boring, but we have some action going on here. Ayman Haikal defending against Azwan. Oh, Ayman runs super wide, and he takes to the runoff, and luckily I think
almost
that's
GG at the side.
Yeah, safe enough, I suppose, of a rejoin. Azwan though with the DRS advantage anyway, pulls ahead, now cuts his gap down to 3.8, and next up for him will be Kendra and then the two Williams. So a podium is still possible here for Azwan. If he has anything close to his qualifying pace, he should be close to the Williams by the end of next 2 or 3 laps, if it's possible. But yeah,
both the Mercedes drivers definitely having to work extra hard just get their points this time around. As Roshan gets a 5-second penalty for speeding and pilling. Drivers, please. Oh, as he retires as well. Poor guy.
Yeah, I wonder why he's retired. Is it because he has some issues with his PC or game or anything? It could be anything. But we always encourage drivers to continue till the end. Every driver scores a point from P20 to P1. And well, that aside, let's head back for some more action here. We can see Raiden on the press, soft tires on the inside. Wow, okay. He wanted to go for a move. I think he's just intimidating Kendrick there. And once again, you can see Kendrick struggling in the spoon section on the entry, on the exit as well, getting a poor exit, and that's all the intention Raiden needs to go ahead. Now, this will put him a little bit on the back foot here on the pit straight. He will not have the DRS, but he has the better tires here to get past. Bagas finally into the pit lane. He will get rid of those medium tires to get onto the softs. Raiden pits as well from the soft tires this time around. And maybe another set of mediums to go till the end. Looks like it. Yeah, he will go on another set of mediums. We quickly Aaron Bob with Bagas. Where is he? He's gonna fall behind to Switz and Scientist, who just went past us on the pit box here. And there you go. Switz up into P10. Got past Foliate into turn 1. And next up for him is going to be Scientist. So a big task here for Switz to catch up. But that medium tires is his advantage right now.
Going to be definitely a very big advantage right now for drivers that. Well, Switz has the fresher tires. Here's the thing: will his tires last to the end though?
Oh, he definitely will. He definitely will. However, that's the thing. Can he keep up the pace when the tires are starting the race? That's the question. Will he be able to make the overtakes as the laps go on? Right. Back on the Ferrari of Kendrick here at the back of Lemon, and once again, I think this time around Kendrick has been released to go for the attack onto Lemon. This time around, no issues coming out of the spoon curve. Using a little bit of battery there, and Lemon as well already defending into 130. You're breaking the slipstream early. You don't want your rival to be getting that much of an advantage. Oh, now Fall is pitting as well. So that's something spicy. And there you go. There's a move down the inside by Kendrick, and around the outside, He makes it stick. Okay, and he jumps into the pit straight away. So that was 2-3 corners full of questionable decisions there. He's decided to attack and then jump into the pits. I wonder what has happened there. So, but Kendrick now on the medium tires here, he will be going on the attack once again. Naufal and Pagas down in P10 and 11, so it's an uphill battle for them as well. That promotes now Azwan and Ayman up into P4 and 5. Next up for them is Kendra, who holds that 3.5 second gap for that final podium position right now. Up in front, quietly though, we've seen Levi once again retake the lead, and they're just swapping around back and forth. But look at that battery, it's not on Levi's side today, so Shari still holds the advantage as of now. We see a move coming in from Switz. He's made it past Scientist as well, and quite a dramatic move, I suppose. Perhaps the Scientist ran wide somewhere, because suddenly there's a 2-second gap within 2 corners here. Bagas getting ahead of Foliot as well. Now he will look to set off after Scientist, Switz and everyone else up ahead. So it's all gonna start converging here, Nick, towards the end with differing strategies. So let's bring up the good old tie graphic here while we are still on lap number 18 right now.
Well, here's the thing: is you can see most drivers are on 10 lap old tires. Only a few drivers are in the new fresher tires that we are expecting to be fighting for the pole. We have Switz, we have Bagas, we have
more drivers jumping into the pits. Yeah, there you go, Nick. We were just talking about it. So yeah, sorry to cut you off there though. But yeah, Kendra, who was holding P3 just now, he has decided to jump into the pits, gets a set of hard tires to go till the end. So he was on the mediums earlier, correction. So now gets onto the hard tires to go till the end, and that immediately promotes Azwan up into P3 and Ayman Aikal running in P4. So the best he's done so far this season. Switz is already up to P5 and Bagas on the soft tires. They're already in P6, catching close. So it's not over just yet for P3. Might we see some team play coming in from Ayman holding off Switz and the rest of the crew, just so the McLaren crew can score a bit more? Well, Switz and Azwan drag each other along to make sure they are safe from the Williams pair, who are also chasing them with the back. We'll find that out as we are now heading into the end of lap number 18. 10 laps to go, including this, and it's still unfolding as we go.
Yeah, here's the thing about MSRL. Drivers don't really usually work with each other to make sure that they get away. Usually it's in it for each other, and it'll be very interesting to see if Shariz and Aswan actually work together to make a gap. But I think that might not happen, mainly just because they want Ayman to be in front. So we'll see. But the two Williams now with extremely fresh tires are definitely a force to be reckoned with, as we expect the first 4 drivers to actually require to get back into the grid. Oh, it is. He is right at the back.
Yeah, he backs the fastest lap. He's burning his battery. He's got the burners on and down the inside into turn 1. Easiest to like it. He gets the position. Okay, P5 is there. And straight away, I think he can see P4. And, if this skips up on these fresher soft tires against the old hard tires, might we say the P3 is there for sure for him. P2, I don't know. That's a bit of a stretch for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a bit of a stretch. We'll see what happens. We definitely hope for the best for the drivers here, but it's more about making sure that you keep the car on the track right now. Minimum mistakes for all drivers, and it should be alright.
Right, minimum mistakes. That's exactly what we are hoping drivers keep in their mind as they head into the final third of the race. We are in lap number 19, and we have had a safety car at lap number 5 early on, and that has thrown all the strategies, thrown a spanner in the works, and we are seeing all this unfolding, right? And suddenly there's 2 stops or the extended 1 stops on the hard tires. So everyone who stayed on the hard tires, let's bring that up real quick. The top 4 who stayed out, who came in on the first safety car and decided to put on the hard tires, they will for sure go till the end. But can they hold on? The tires will hold on, but can they hold on pace-wise? Whereas the faster drivers are catching up behind them. Bagas there. Oh, wow, okay. In just 1 lap alone, and he's finally caught up to Ayman Haikal, but Ayman is putting up a great defense so far. But look at that. How much more grip
my God.
he has Bagas now on the soft tires. Let's ride on board with him as he tries to get past this McLaren as quick as possible. Ayman for sure doing a service for his teammate as well. And all this while, it's probably going to help Aswan as well against this charging Williams. Switch is also behind this queue right now.
Here's the thing about the soft tires of Bagas. If the math is right, the tires that Bagas will be driving will end at 11th lap usage. That means that they're well within the tire life, right? 12 laps, 11 laps, that is well within usable range of this tire. But will the tires at the end hold up to the pace of the worn hard tires? That is going to be something that we'll have to see between the drivers. But right now it's up to Ayman to hold Bagas in position until those tires wore out. But will that be a thing, or will Ayman just unfortunately have to let Bagas by and see if we can be able to catch up when the soft tires start to wear out at the very end of the race?
Yeah, once again heading into the Castle Triangle. You don't want to make an overtake just yet, but you want to line it up out of this exit here. And looks like Bagas on the soft tires as well. Yep, and gets a good exit. Gets the burners on, DRS on, and
the DRS.
easy as like it. Okay, once again, better tires, better top speed, and there you go. Into turn 1, he's up into P4. Next up for him, 9 seconds gap. And well, will that be enough laps for him to chase down P3 here?
Well, it really depends. It is a very big gap, but it really down to how consistent AJ is at his pace, and also how consistent Ayman can be, how consistent Bagas can be at this pace, because he's pushing it really hard on the soft tires, and it is gonna take a very big toll, as much as we expect them to do.
Might see a
You
move
know,
coming
all
in here.
11
There
laps
you
as we
go.
see Switz on the hairpin. Does it work? It does not. Switz might have to think a little bit more time for the overtake, but he has to make it fast as an Alpha. Almost on the grass here. Alpha's already behind them, looking at Switch in case he makes a mistake. But Switch, I think, also trying to make sure that he gets it done as soon as possible, just to not waste any more time here and be up there with AJ to get as much constructor points as possible. But can that happen? As you see coming down on the outside of coming down into 130R, that does not happen. I think the McLaren has definitely higher top speed than the Mercedes right now, but can he send it on the chicanes? No, he cannot. Definitely needs the DRS to assist
There you go. Once
on this
again,
overtake on
lining
Ayman
up the
himself.
exit smooth as you like it. The McLaren runs a little bit wide, and now Switch gets the inside line. Oh, Ayman tries to push the Mercedes off a little bit, but there you go. Gets the move done, and here comes Naufal as well, trying to look for a 2-4-1, but no, says Switch, and Switch skips that P5 for now, and Naufal right behind him, trying to attack Switch, and that's definitely going to help the Williams camp as well. So Williams, Mercedes, sorry, it's the other way around. Mercedes, Williams right now as it stands. So definitely more points swing towards the Mercedes camp so far today. So it's a straight up fight for the constructors as well here, as much as it is going on for the drivers championship, with Switch being a point behind Sharis coming into this race, but he might just lose that point gap and become even bigger by the end of the race. Well, we'll switch our attention to this battle for the time being, where Switch is trying to chase down Bagas for that P4 to make it a Mercedes 3-4 this time around. And will he be successful? He has 6 laps to respond. Naufal is sticking close, so it's not too far off before we see some more position changes coming in.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. Looking at the tire life right now, do you expect any other drivers to start paying in, or do you expect any other drivers to start losing pace? Right now, we only see Charis, Levi, and AJ, all 3 drivers, 16 laps on the hard tires. They have about 4 laps remaining on this race. Will they be able to make the hard tires
There you
last
go.
20 laps?
We'll answer that in a lap or two. But there you go. Switch now been overtaken by Naufal, who is on 5-lap fresher medium tires compared to Switch. So there you go. Gets past the Mercedes to make it a Williams 4-5 right now. And he can probably push on to catch up to his teammate. Just behind them as well, we were seeing Ayman, Haikal and Kendra going for it into the final chicane. And now Kendra still stuck behind Ayman for a few corners already. 11 laps fresher hard tires there on that Red Bull. And now looks like he's hustling the Mercedes around. Oh, he looked for a move there at the inside of Dagner 1. And coming out of Dagner 2, looks like he's got a better exit. He's going to drive it down the inside here already. And for the happy, he's going to have the outside. He's going to dive down. No, he's not going to dive. Ivan parks it just nicely on the middle of the apex.
Oh, but he's going to have a good exit.
The exit though. Yeah, Nick?
On the exit down, coming to turn 12, turn 13. Can he be able to do it on the outside? No, he cannot. It's not much space. But Ayman did touch the grass there. It's going to be unstable. And Kendra does make an overtake on Spoon. On turn 14, amazing overtake. And Ayman definitely has made some mistakes. But Ayman definitely not going to give that position up so quickly. But not enough top speed to make the switch back. And unfortunately, I think Kendra's going to take that spot unless DRS is going to make sure that Kendra gets Ayman Halikal gets it back on the start finish straight. You have to see coming down into the exit. Pretty smooth. Oh, it goes a little bit wide. I think the hard tires are starting to show its age right now, and unfortunately Kendra just pulls away right now.
Yeah, and let's answer your questioning. I think if anyone decided to pit, 3, 4, 5 laps ago was the last pit window really to go on to the 2 stops here. Now everyone's locked in. If anyone were to get a puncture, it's probably the hard runners up in front, the top 3 who are on the hard tires here. But it's going to be pretty close for them to finish off the race. The gap between Azwan and Bagas is coming down, but it's not as big, as quick as we thought, right? So, is Azwan managing his tires for the end? Is Bagas, doing all he can, but there's no more pace left in those soft tires after the initial wear that they've gone through. Yeah, it's still not over with 3 laps to go. We will definitely see some action for track positions. And then speaking of which, we have scientists here going for a move on Lemon. Lemon on the 6 lap all hard medium soft tires. I've said all the tires, but not the right one for the right driver. Lemon on 6 laps. And there you go, scientist down
and
the
that's a big send.
Wow, okay.
Definitely a very big send on Foliate, Ernest. I don't think Foliate will appreciate that, but unfortunately that has happened. But Foliate still in front. Actually, what?
Correction, that's
so
Lemon.
That's the vial.
Yeah, that's
Lemon.
The Lemon. Yeah, so yeah, he tried to dive it down the inside once again. Ernest trying to spook off the Haas a little bit into the spoon curve. Now onto the back straight here into 130R. Pulls out of the slipstream. Oh, side by side already. Is he going to be around the outside? He does make it move. Wow. All right. It's not every day we see a move around the outside of 130R. Scientist experimenting there and definitely made it work. So his hypothesis has been proven right. Up to P10 he goes. All he has to do is pull a 3-second gap to the drivers behind in order to keep his P10 there with that time penalty. And no, Lemon tries to come back, but not enough top speed to get past the Red Bull up in front.
Well, here's the thing though, he has soft tires. The softer tires will give him enough grip, but 7 laps has been gone on the soft tires. It might have just eked its last little bit of peak performance, and I think it's definitely costing Lemon a little bit of pace. As he runs wide down into turn 7. Yeah, running wide definitely does not help in terms of wanting to get back that position from Ernest itself, unfortunately.
Right. 2 and a bit laps to go, with Sharis leading the race this time.
Caution.
And there is some yellow flags and there is some lap cars, so no issues just there. Sharis comfortably leading, pulling out the gap. While Levi is struggling to push with battery, and he is really pushing it with the car as well. All he can do. There you go, Azwan now in P3. I think he'll definitely bring this home in P3. Have to look after his tires. Bagas pushing on. Now his teammate has joined the battle as well. Will they want to bring it home in 4 and 5? Oh, looks like that is not exactly what they have planned out. Sweet still lurking behind in P6, but I think his medium tires are way older than Nawfal's, and he's not going to be able to close up anymore. Kendra though, on those fresher hard tires, not over just yet. With 2 laps to go, he still can catch and pass Sweets on track, but he has the 3-second time penalty to carry on to his name. So Kendra with the disadvantage on the time penalty, but advantage on the tire lap. So it's all going to play out in this final 2 laps as we head into the lap number 26, the penultimate lap of the race.
Yeah, it's definitely very fast how 27 laps have gone by. I was a bit worried about how we're gonna have to keep ourselves entertained, but it's been very interesting. It has been a very interesting
Yeah.
race with how many overtakes have we seen, how many strategy swaps have come to be just from the one safety car alone, and it's definitely spiced up the grid right now as we see the drivers almost 20 laps on the hard tire as we see Luckman 3 second time penalty for multiple track cuts. Track limits has also been a thing that's been haunting the drivers this time around as we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drivers having track limit issues and a driver for speeding the pit lane. Definitely very interesting to see the drivers struggling to maintain their cars on the track right now in Suzuka at this session right now.
Right, final lap has started. Charis has crossed the start finish line to start the final lap, and he is definitely sort of pushing. He's bringing it home. Levi will be looking to bring this home as well. They don't want to puncture on the last lap. We surely hope there's no any punctures, but although that'll make things funny towards the end. We've just got under a lap to go and not much left to battle it out on track. Switch still within 6/10 of Naufal. Will this be his last ditch attempt to get back at Naufal? Are the tires starting to level out despite the wear? We have to find out as we have a 6/10 gap here. Will Naufal be assisted by his teammate with a little bit of slipstream from the Williams up ahead? It looks like the Mercedes is definitely pushing it. Switch now within 4/10, 3/10 looks like it by the time we get up to Spoon Curve. No, he's not pulling the gap that he needs to. Okay, so this is getting interesting, but let's quickly turn our attention to the race winner once again across line. It's gonna be Charis to defend his championship. P1 for him and a debut podium for Levi Tiger Pants in P2. And coming across the Casio Triangle, the final chicane, it's gonna be Aswan Jupri to bring it home in P3. This time around, he's the lead Mercedes. He brings home the P3 for Mercedes, and just behind them, 4 and 5 for the Williams, close by Swiss. Kendra came close there at the end with that pressure hard tires. Perhaps a lap or two earlier might have worked out. And now across the line, Ivan Haikal brings it up in P8. Raiden, despite a tough day with issues and whatnot, he brings it up in P9 as he's coming across the line. There's still battles here between Foliate, between Scientists. Who's going to come out ahead? Foliate has, seems to be having some issues here. He's let... he's run out of fuel.
Oh no.
Foliate has run out of fuel. And that has given the chance to Scientists to cross them on the pit line, but with the penalty he still drops back to P12. And there you go, Kendrick coming home in P13. Tuna doing well on his first return in this season. I think he's gonna take it a little bit easy and give us a little bit of show on the exit. There you go. Weaving across the line, P14 for Tuna, and there you go, Senna coming on in P15. Ting Tong cross the line, will be the last driver unlapped to finish the race in P16. Well,
definitely very interesting race, to say the least.
Not as interesting as Miami for sure, right? Foliage shot picking up the driver of the day somehow, despite that running out of fuel at the end there. So a little bit of miscalculations for sure. There you go, Charis once again on the top step of the podium. That's a good way to defend his championship right now. And unfortunately, fastest lap, not his for the taking. It's gonna go the way of Bagas once again. Twice this season he has taken the fastest lap of the race. 1 extra point for Williams and 1 extra point for him in their championships. 4 and 5 for them. It's a good showing today, Nick. Not as eventful as we expected. A dry race in Suzuka. I think drivers were definitely a little bit more comfortable with the conditions today. What do you make of it?
Well, to be fair, even with a dry track, I'd say it's eventful enough. Would you want a more interesting race? I think it's interesting enough. With more rain, I think it's just gonna be a bunch of heartbreak, and I don't think, even as a commentator, I don't want to see too much heartbreak from a grid. But yeah, it's been very interesting. A lot of new drivers coming in that have been performing really well, and definitely very interesting to see them in the grid this season. Do you want me to let them know that drivers can come for the interview if they want to?
Yeah, exactly. Let's invite them for interviews so So let's see who's available. First of our 3, 4, 5 scapegoats for today. We'll see who's available for today. And we have Scientist who is ready to join us once again for third race in a row. So let's get Scientist into the lobby and let's see what happens today. So we welcome once again a familiar voice into the media room for the interviews for today. Scientist, how are you today? Much better, I think, this time around. And we saw some funny things went on, right? On the last corner there, I think the harsh driver ran out of fuel. There was a little bit of action as well. Just run us through what happened there at the end. That we definitely missed some action.
When I got the 3 second penalty, definitely changed my mindset a lot because at that rate, I was just praying that the Haas drivers would like collide into each other until like Hamilton and Rosberg. But I think the quality running out of fuel on the end was really unexpected. I'm very lucky to like be able to keep my front wing and like hitting Kenrick. It didn't like end up in a collision where like Kenrick managed to catch up. Like, oh, that'd be bad. But so yeah, P12. I'll take it. It's a slight improvement. My best result of the season, but definitely there's a lot to be done.
You guys were running pretty good at the start, and I think there was some incidents just before the safety car came out. Your teammate got a better outcome, I suppose, out of that safety car in the entire race after that. Perhaps a lap or two later, a lap or two earlier, if he had pitted for the second time, he was in the hunt for the podium there. What do you make out of your teammate's performance today?
Obviously, I respect Kendra a lot. I've raced with him a lot before in other leagues as well. I obviously respect him a lot. He's really fast, and sometimes he can be a bit rash, but I think kudos to him. I think he deserves the result that he got.
Yeah, great to see the Red Bull team there once again doing well. We'll see you in Imola for sure. I think that's gonna be another track where I love to see racing as well, and we are also heading there in real life next week. So pretty sure everyone will be looking forward to cook on that track. So Red Bull once again will thank Scientists, and we'll invite next we have our podium sitter for today. Let's get a Levi Tiger Pants. Let's get Mr. Levi Tiger Pants into the media room as well. So Levi, debut race for you.
Let you know for the stream that the waiting room is insanely busy tonight.
Oh my goodness, yeah, there you go. I can see 4 more people already waiting. Levi is here with us. Levi, our first race for you in this league. You just signed up last week after the deadline, unfortunately, but you've been in the waiting list, in the reserves, eagerly waiting like a hawk for your opportunity, and you got it today. P2, were you satisfied with that, or you saw that P1 there and it slipped away? What happened there?
I wanted the P1, but I knew it's probably not my strongest track, so it I don't know. I couldn't figure out the hairpin. I would lose a couple tenths there every lap. But I tried holding on. It was fun though.
Yeah, and
Charis definitely has that set part locked in. What do you make of Charis as your potential competitor for this time around in this league?
He's pretty quick. We'll see if I can match him at any track, but maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try. I don't know if he was using his ERS or not.
Well, I'll give you a hint. He was not. So he definitely had recovered for the most of the race, but I think you did well. Possibly that it came down to the setup as well. He was definitely way much quicker than everyone else on the straight, so that was the easy part for him. But I think you were definitely keeping up in the corner, so that's where the trade-off came, right? So we'll definitely look forward to
it was pretty fun.
Imola next race. Hopefully we can see you once again if enough drivers don't show up and you get another chance to race. Are you looking forward to Imola if you get to race there?
Yeah, I did a league race recently. There, it's that's also probably one of my worst tracks, to be honest, but it's a fun track though. So
all right, we'll
see.
All right, Levi. Thank you so much. Great race there for you, and we'll let you off early. I'm guessing it's probably already pretty late for you. And we'll have the
Yeah.
next driver in. So let's have Aiman
Thanks.
Haikal. Let's have Aiman Haikal into the media room as well. So Aiman, hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm fine. Hello. Hello.
Hello, hello. Yes, Aiman.
Can hear you.
Yep.
Okay. Hello. Okay.
Yeah. So Nick, any questions for Aiman? Maybe you can take it away this time.
Well, that 3 second time track limits that you get, very unfortunate for you. Was it really a big struggle for you to keep yourself on the track this time around? Because Suzuka, as we know, very twisty, very whiny, and also with the pressure of the start of the race, and we saw that you got your track limits penalty very early on this race. Did you crack under the pressure, or was just tires just not was just not there for you, and unfortunately you just had to push it very hard, and unfortunately just get the penalty?
To be fair, one of the warnings were very unfair to me. So I may need to appeal that later on, maybe.
Right.
Okay,
Lucky for you.
understandable.
Penalties can be appealed, so that's good news. But yeah, I think talk us through a little bit of your choice of going onto the hard tires, because it was only you and another driver, I believe, on the hard tires, but everyone else were on soft and mediums. What made you go on the hards?
Because I think that I wanted to go on it because I wanted to go long for maybe a potential late safety car.
But then there was an early safety car, so that spoiled your plans?
No, I started on the soft. Actually.
Okay. So I'm mistaken there. My bad. Okay.
I started on the soft, and then the first safety car was very perfect, but unfortunately there was only one safety car. If there was still probably my race would be okay, but it is a good finish for me.
Yeah, exactly. Good haul of points for McLaren. I think you guys are starting to make a bit of comeback in the constructors, with Sharis, leading up there, and you're also putting in the points. So looking forward to your involvement next week in Imola. I believe that's a track where a lot of drivers like to show off as well. So hopefully we can see you once again in Imola. So thank you, Aiman. We'll let you go. Perhaps some fun race on the other side. I'll see you there. And let's have the next driver who's ready for us, Redden. So let's pull him in and let's see. Mr. Raiden, Japan, Suzuka, a lot of issues, looks like it. Some disconnections, some wheel issues or PC issues you had early on. Did that resolve on its own as the race went on, or was that something that held you back today?
I mean, held my back today would be an understatement. I would have said, go check the message and the S7 chat. I was literally said that it's over. Warimashita da kedo. So I don't know, man. It just that I was like, oh, the first crash is like happening. Like, yeah, you know what? This is not gonna end well anyway. So like, don't even thought about finishing P9 or in the points.
Yeah, P9, you definitely score points. Everyone score points as long as you finish, right? So that's probably 10, 11 points for you today, which is still good considering the issues that you have had. So we guess if everything went right, podium for sure today. What do you think?
I mean, I don't think it's a podium. Shad is obviously fast, and AJ with the racing line, obviously he's a monster as well. But maybe top 5 could be. I mean, the two Indonesians were fast as well. But at least I don't know it's gonna be a podium, but a shot maybe.
Yeah, it's pretty tight for the podium battle this season, right? Especially
right. So
with all the drivers there.
So those fast drivers, but at least if everything goes right, at least would love to give a shot,
Yeah. Now, speaking of giving it a shot, what about next week in Imola? Do you think you can make a comeback and go for it this time around?
そうですよね。実はわからないんだけど、まあ、wrong language. I know he's in Japan, but yeah.
I'll pretend I understood that. That's a very good statement there by Raiden.
I don't know about that actually. First and foremost of all, I kind of found out what the issue is. I was actually streaming to my friend in another server, so they found out that it could be a hard drive issue. So
right. Well, we hope that get resolved for next week because we are eager to see you battling at the
So
front end once again.
anyone got a unused HDD? Please send it to me. Thank you very much.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Raiden Shogun, send your spare HDDs to him. Of course, with an asterisk there. Make sure it is not a broken one, right? Otherwise, he'll just
Yeah. I mean,
he'll
if
fling
it's a
it back at
broken
you at
one, then
double speed.
I mean, if it's gonna be a broken one, I might as well use back the current one. At least bring it to P9.
Right. And we thank Raiden for his attendance here in the media room. And we have one final driver waiting for us in the voice chat. Let's see if Mr. Tuna, if he's able to hear us out. So Tuna, hello, how are you?
Hello.
I wonder if we'll ever hear Tuna's voice, or is it going to be a voice chat kind of an interview? Tuna, how are you, sir?
No, I'm here. Hi, hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Okay,
Hello.
good to hear you for the first time, I think, right?
Yes.
First race back in MSRL after a long break, I think. Season 5 was the last we saw you. And we saw you practicing with Zenubi early on. Talk us through what went different, right, from the practice and then in the race. What went correctly, what went wrongly? Maybe just a pointer or two.
Yeah, well, mostly when we practice, we practice strategy. Like we tried doing multiple stuffs, and then we found out that the sauce weren't that good. So I personally went for that medium part. So yeah.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw a few battles as well. I think the safety car, did that play into your strategy, or did that actually ruin your plans today?
I don't think I did the best with the safety car. I didn't hit.
All right. And I think it's been nice to see you once again. Racing with us.
I got one small question.
Yeah, there you go.
Since you were at the back of the grid, there is some incidents there. Were you able to see what has happened within the chaos amongst everyone? Given that you basically had the best seat in town to see what has happened in front of you, and also I believe you dodged some incidents during the start of the race.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing much, but I got contact after the safety car restart, which sent me to the back. But I don't remember seeing anything else.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. That is the Tuna man for you, and we'll say goodbye to him for a short moment, and we'll have our final podium. Not podium driver. It is actually our podium driver today. AJ in P3. So we'll invite AJ into the media room. So AJ, hello, how are you? It's been a long time. Feels weird to be on the opposite side of the interviews, right? We have done this, but with you interviewing me. P3 for Mercedes. Good haul of points this time around. I think you brought the bigger points home. Safety car came out, and then we saw you went into the pits, and then Switch decided to stay out. So there was a little bit of I think confusion also from our end, why drivers did not stack. But how did that play into your hand today, the safety car?
Well, the safety car, you first of all, you can never predict the safety car, but choosing soft compound at the beginning of the race was I would say the safety car played well into my race. But like Max Verstappen said, it's always an if. Sometimes it works for you, sometimes it don't. To me, the main point from the race that cost my my P2 was not the safety car, but my controller was actually blinking.
Oh, okay.
And so I had to pause the game at one of the final turn just to plug in the wire, and suddenly I dropped 2 position.
So that's the real life equivalent of recharge button on, I suppose.
Yeah.
Using a few tens to recharge the battery, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I think nevertheless, I think it was a good fight. Probably it would have been close for top 3 there. We saw Levi keeping up with Charis for the majority of the race, and then we saw you keeping up with Charis as well at the start. But I think maybe that little recharge moment might have cost you, or was it different reason? Maybe tire wear was a concern today, because 20 laps on the hard tires, AJ? I know it's not the easiest thing we can do in Japan, right?
No, definitely not. I ended the race with about 70% of the tire wear,
Ooh, puncture.
which
Right,
was not my strongest suit because my driving style favors pressure tire, and whenever I hit the 30 to 40% mark, I would simply just lose pace. So to be able to keep up with Chares and Levi, I gain a few tenths and lose a few tenths here and there. So I'm gonna take the podium as a win for me because this is my first podium this season.
You know, there's a good news for you. We were expecting a Silverstone Season 6 repeat, right? With you and Charis in the front row. But the good news is we have a Silverstone race as well this season in race number 11, the penultimate race of the season. So we are looking forward to that, AJ. We want you to, beat Charis by a landslide this time around. But yeah, I think right now, definitely the focus looks like it's a little bit split between drivers and constructors, but we can see Mercedes is doing a good job in the constructors right now. I believe after today, the gap to Williams is still level. Or just maybe they gain a point on you because they had the fastest lap, but you guys extended the gap to everyone else. So is that going to be the focus from here on? Do you want to focus on the constructors, or is the drivers going to be your focus there? And how do you plan to work this out with Switz?
Well, first of all, hats off to Switz because he's been carrying me for the first few races, and it feels good to finally contribute bigger points to the team. But I was wondering where Sweets was throughout the end of the race. But my main focus is always team game. Whichever league that I join, I would always focus more on the team results because you can always fight for driver championship in some other leagues, but we have Sharis here. So
well, that's definitely the anomaly. I think if we take Sharis out of the equation, it gets a lot more tighter up front.
Yeah.
Right? But it's also good to have a big benchmark in the form of Sharis, like someone like Levi as well, right?
True.
It's a good benchmark to have. We know that there's someone still quicker out there. And we can beat them on the odd race or two, like Silverstone, we hope. But yeah, I think that will do it for today. We've been long time here in the comms box here today. Nick, last words? Any last questions before we call it a day?
No last questions for me, but it's just more for the stream. I guess I'm gonna do my ender now more than anything.
The plug.
Yeah, if you if you enjoyed the stream tonight, be sure to subscribe, give us a like, and if you want to join MSRL as a league, as a community, our link to our Discord is always in the description below. We do have any more races to come in the form of F1 as well as ACC. Both will be planned in our SimGrid page. So if you want to know what's coming up next, you might want to follow us on SimGrid as well, or just join the Discord. We always announce when we race, when we don't. And if you think any of our drivers are cool, like I said, Discord link is down in the description below. It has been a wonderful round 3 in season 7 of our F1 league, and you're joined by Delvin as well as me, Nick, and it has been a great night, and we're gonna call it a night and just rest our voices for the night.
Yep, the bait is calling, and there you go. So good night, everyone. Take care, stay safe. See you next week for round number 4. We are heading to the the home of Ferrari, the other home of Ferrari, Imola. See you there.
Hey, nights.